Rugby League Malays were in the headlines last week, and I must say I very much enjoyed hearing Ricky Stewart's thoughts on the matter. This was Ricky last Friday.
It was unnecessary and I thought silly. I think it's this jumper pulling and grabbing blokes by the back of the jumper and trying to pull them out of melees is a blight on the game. It's ugly. It makes soft people very tough. You know you're not going to get a punch in the head. You got guys who are not that courageous, acting very tough, going into a melee now, knowing the fact that he's not going to get a punch in the mouth, which is why so many people fly into it. The thing that I laughed watching it on the back end of the game there last week was when our physio got pushed out of the way, Jack Whiten came into the melee then to sort it out and settle it all down, and there was a lot of egos that were in that melee were deflated very quickly. It soon quietened it down. So if you're a good pusher nowadays, you're tough. It's a blight on our game. I just wish the league could do something about it and eradicate it.
Ricky's right. I mean, is there a way to get this rubbish out of the game?
Yeah. You third man in goes. That's how they got rid of the all-in brawl. Third man in, which let the two guys hang on.
Automatic bin.
Put them straight. Third man in straight in the bin and fine everybody that's in the melee.
But
fine them all, not just Crichton.
Well, you're not allowed
Hence
to
why it's a
these
melee.
days. That's what the problem is.
That's the problem.
You want to sin bin blokes for melees now?
You're missing the point, Buzz.
No, I'm not.
You're missing the point.
You're sin bin one bloke.
Ricky's blowing up.
No, I don't think we should blow up.
Because we're starting to look like AFL.
I don't think we should blow up at Penrith and their try-scoring celebration.
No one is blowing up about that.
Well,
they're
that
all
was
embarrassing.
He had his blow up after the Penrith.
Of course he did, because he's personally involved, but it's not the only melee that's
And
happened.
I thought it was wrong for Don Ferner to call them mugglers as well.
Couldn't possibly disagree more strongly. Why can't Don call these blokes mugglers? Since when is going over to opposition players after you score and goading them and patting them on the arse and all that sort of thing? Since when's that to be celebrated in the game? And nobody's questioned, right, Buzz?
With the sad passing of Tommy Raudonikis, we lamented the fact the game was losing its characters.
This isn't about... Where's the character in that? Show me where the character is in that.
It was just...
Where's the character?
Show me Tommy scoring
a try. Show me the character in that. Just give me one example. So give me one example. In 20 years' time, you're going to recall a day at Penrith Park when this happened. Seriously, where's the character?
I just don't have a problem with the way they celebrate their tries. I'm sorry.
None of us do, Buzz, right? They celebrate all you like, right? But when you start to go over to the opposition, there is. He went over to the opposition after he scores. He's waiting to go on the field, and he puts his arm around him and starts goading and carrying on.
Buzz, we've got this situation in the game now where the yappy little blokes are happy to bark and puff their chest out and go after the big tough guys because they know they're not going to cop a smack in the mouth. In the old days, if you got into somebody, if you provoked somebody, you had to take into account that he might get hold of you at some point later in the game and give you a touch-up, right?
I know
that doesn't happen now. So the advantage is actually going to all these blokes niggling all the time, doing the pats on the head, the little smart comments, pushes in the back, all this business. This is only a small part of it. This is not a Penrith thing. This is game-wide. And the better, the sooner the game gets it out, the better for the game.
I think it's a bit of aggression. They're not mugglers. That
we
was
used
the
to
wrong.
laugh at the AFL when they had these melees. They all used to do the shirt.
Can we go back to your solution?
something?
Buzz, can I go back to your solution? Because I don't like the melee either. I still haven't figured out what the third man does in a melee. He's not protecting anyone because no one throws a punch anymore. So we want it out, and you think third man in goes to the bin.
Third man in goes to the bin. Everybody else that comes in gets fined.
I love it.
A lot of them. And
get rid of it
once you start getting $1,300 to walk in and go like this bit, well, that's all they're doing. Pushing a bloke, grabbing a bloke by the back of the jersey, dragging him out.
We used to laugh at the AFL for the way that they would all go in and hold each other like this and nothing would happen. And now we've got exactly the same thing happening.
I wanted these kind of fights around when I was playing. Someone throws a punch.
Cattle dog wouldn't have worked, would it?
Buzz, it's your time to shine. Monday Buzz.
Monday Buzz. I did a story, the column this morning about Melbourne Storm and their tactics with the new concussion rules. And the fact that Cameron Munster was floored by Victor Radley. He wasn't hurt, he got back up, he went to the sideline, was off for less than 30 seconds, got a replacement done in that 30 seconds, then went back out himself. The Cowboys did the same thing yesterday with Valentine Holmes. And there's also the problem Melbourne Storm had by continuing Harry Grant on the field. The NRL are investigating this now, and it's going to be an interesting one how it plays out.
I reckon there's every chance Melbourne get fined 20 grand, like Canterbury did.
What for,
For Harry Grant. Because I think he showed clear clear indications he was concussed and was allowed to stay on.
He passed his on-field test, Kenty.
But under the rules, if you are
If you're down for 2 to
Category
3
one.
seconds.
if you show signs that you could possibly be concussed, which he did, because everybody watched the game thought he was, then you've got to be replaced.
Hang on, Lachlan Lewis passed his on-field test.
Yes.
Did he not? Stayed on the field for an extra set.
Yes.
And then the
Yeah.
Bulldogs got hit with a $20,000
That's right.
fine after the
Guys,
investigation.
how do we
weeks later.
say that the Storm doctor got it wrong? Or the Storm? How do we prove that? He's a credible 8-year doctor.
Because you look at
Kenty.
it, you look at what happened. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look,
Look, I
look where the collision is on the side of his head, and then look at him. But that is under the rules. That is grounds to be taken off. That's it. Done. And that's actually grounds to not come back on the field.
Yeah, look,
okay.
How long's he down? So
See,
he was down about 3 seconds.
no one's ever allowed to question the doctor's integrity anymore
No.
because it's
Well,
upsetting, okay?
yeah.
But the fact is the doctor stuffed up. He should have been off. As for the other thing with the interchange, that's very easily fixed. The way they stop rorting it is the player that goes on for the concussed player where he has HIA is a guy who has to come off when the player goes back on.
And that's not how it happens at the moment. So Munster comes off, they send out a player.
They sent out
A fresh player?
Free interchange.
Yeah, but they sent out Solomon.
I can't recall. That.
I'm getting it all mixed
One
up
of the
now.
forwards.
Yeah.
They used it as a free
They used
interchange.
it. They put Welch
Send out
on
one of the
anyway.
forwards.
They said
Munster obviously
Sofa
had to come off.
Solomon, I think, first, and then when
Yeah, so
Munster
Solomon
was ready to
back
come back
on.
on after 27 seconds.
Yeah.
When they brought another forward off the.
And you were right. It was
put Welch
Solomon
on.
that went on for Munster and Welsh that came off
Yeah.
when Munster went back on.
What worries me about what happened the other day, and I'll get run with the Storm doctor for the moment, but some clubs are treating it more seriously than others, and are taking players off that might stay on the field at other clubs. It's a fact.
That's true. But the fact is, under the rule, they've got to get fined because that's worse than the Canterbury one.